Oh yeah, we'll have to like look back and forth. Like,
we could have Instagram here.
there we go. We just need 18 cameras, you know.
Octopus.
So yeah, here in Philadelphia. Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you can hear us and see us, put a heart or a thumbs up or anything that is calling to you in this moment in the box. Not for you on YouTube, because you don't have that on YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah, we want comments. We want to hear questions.
Yeah.
We want to engage on your thoughts of what you think. So the purpose of this really is to share our experiences of what we've learned. You know, you traveled a lot. I've traveled. We both have a lot of mentors. We've both had, we're both very committed to big visions and purposes so you can avoid some of the mistakes that we made, or so you can go further, faster in your own path, in your own journey.
Yeah.
And the value in it for you is growing, is being able to flow on your own and glow and be that light for others.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, where shall we start?
Well, tell me, how'd you get into the sound healing?
Oh, sound healing.
I'm not too sure much about what it is.
What is sound healing?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, they're not familiar with what it is. It's kind of this thing that's out there. It's like, is this, music therapy? Is it something with singing? Is it something totally different? Kind of. Yes, no, both, neither, all of the above. So I got into it. I'd been singing for my whole life, always, always, always singing, expressing. When I was a little girl, I would sing instead of talking. So I'd literally just be talking to my mom through singing. And it wasn't until I was living in Thailand, this was maybe 4 years ago, I think, 3-4 years ago. And I would just be at these different events and I would be singing. And then people would start to have these wild experiences. So they would...
What?
They would feel like they were going back into their mother's womb and going on to this journey. Yeah, or they would have an energetic orgasm, or they would immediately fall asleep, or
what is an energetic orgasm?
So an energetic orgasm is basically this beautiful, expansive pleasure, build up and expression, not necessarily.
I've had those before.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Like if you've had some of those, or if you want some of those.
Yes, absolutely. And so basically it's something that's a whole body experience. So it's not something that's focused on the genitals. It's nothing that's about ejaculation or necessarily the climactic peak orgasm as we like to think of it, in modern society. It's really more of this beautiful whole bodied experience.
Great.
So people started experiencing these, which was really fun.
I can imagine it's like your whole cells are just vibrating in harmony.
Yeah.
When you hear that. And when someone can sing, that tells me you're one, free. Two, you have the self-confidence, self-worth to express yourself. That's great.
Yeah.
How many of you, how can we sing? I sing in the shower, but can you sing out in the world? Can you sing, when you read? Can you sing when you communicate with people? I think it's an element that is a skill that people can cultivate. You don't even have to be good. It's not about being really effective at it or really great at it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just total expression. That's one thing that's interesting. In my work, we do a lot of singing. We work with the modality of singing and music because that is one that all of us can relate to. We've all had these experiences where we are, sitting in the car and a song comes on and it just pulls at our heartstrings. Like you have tears come to your eyes because it's so emotive. It's so moving.
Who's had that happen when you're in the car and you're jamming and you start singing and you feel it and you love it? It's one of those songs, it might be the radio, and sometimes you'll be at your location. Have you ever arrived, but you keep playing and you just lock the car and you're just jamming out? That's the best.
Yeah.
And you bring that energy out into the world.
Absolutely. And it can go, such different places on the spectrum. So it can be that vibrant, fun energy where you're staying in the car, because it's so enjoyable. And it can go the other side where it's, bringing tears to your eyes. And it's just this deep, powerful, emotive experience. And so that's really the intention behind using music. It's this tool that's used across all cultures from the dawn of time to express. And so in my sessions with the sound healing, with the vocal alchemy, we use a lot of singing, we use a lot of vocal expression, but really the intention is to translate that into daily life. So not just singing. It's not about who cares if you're on pitch, you're singing beautifully. There are vocal coaches for that. Feel free to go to them. But there's this whole other side of it where you can really translate this into your daily expression. How you interact with your friends, with your lovers, with, Facebook Live when you're doing it, if you're on video, whatever it is.
Yeah, I've seen transformational workshops, other ones, where people bring up others on stage and they say, ah, and then they get feedback from the audience of if they're going like 1 to 10 and they think they're going like at 9 or 10, but they're at like a 3 or 4, and then they break them through on the stage so they can be completely free and they can yell and and scream as loud as they want without breaking it, without like keep it going, because the person would stop, the leader leading the workshop would stop, and then they'd stop. So, can we scream here?
Yeah, we can scream here.
So, it would be like, I mean, screaming, you let a lot of stuff go. Screaming is very valuable.
It's so true. Both of us, we've done a lot of work with Next Level, which involves a lot of catharsis, a lot of processing. I recommend it. I would assume that you recommend it.
100% recommend it. Yeah. And it's interesting to see that, though, because there's a block of some kind. It's a social stifling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm all about freeing people of that. Like, my mission is to help people get out of their shell. Because I've gotten out of my shell, and I was the person that got, embarrassed and turned red, and that held me back. And now I want to I'm expressing. I asked what book I should write. People say expression. So that's
You're very
big.
expressive.
I'm about that.
Yeah. No one could ever say that Dougie Furlano is not an expressor. I don't think anyone who would.
So let's identify what are some blocks you might have in expressing yourself, and or when do you feel most like, when are you the most expressive? Go ahead and comment. When do you feel like you can express yourself? Is it dancing, singing, art, teaching, creating? What is it for you? I'd love to know. Comment. Let us know.
Let's see them pop up. This is actually different. I think that Facebook Live has shifted their format.
So sound healing, anything else you want to say about that?
Let's see here.
Because then I'm going to talk about the opposite, about grounding.
Ooh, let's go to the opposite.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we can always swing back.
Being high, being free. But then what's the grounding like? How does one get grounded?
So there's literal grounding, literal earthing. When he'd actually called me the other day to say, I'm going to be in your area, like, what are you doing? Outside grounding. So literally tuning into the earth.
Feet.
So tuning into the earth, really, really, really getting synced up, allowing the electrons to envelop you, come into the body. It's amazing. Can't recommend it enough.
That's one way to do it. And what's the purpose of getting grounded anyway? Why someone?
Physiological benefits, it's like grounding your system in, like, we're humans, we're meant to be connected to the earth for millennia. We were connected to the earth, and now everything that we do is disconnected. The beds that we sleep on are disconnected. The couches that we sit on, the shoes that we wear.
So when you say grounding, you're literally talking about grounding.
There's that component.
Because I mean, like, having a grounded energy.
Yeah, so that's part of it. Like, really getting out of nature, like finding that groundedness, that rootedness, and then the recognition that you can begin to translate that into just your beingness. So you don't necessarily have to be standing on the earth to tap into that sensation, to tap into the earth energy that's beneath us, and to tap into that within you, because it is always within you. So you can start to really find that within. And so you can do that through different things like meditation. One of my favorites in the sound healing realm is toning. So we have different tones that are associated. If you've ever heard of the chakra system, a little bit new agey, woo-woo. But if you go through these different points in the body, these energy centers, then there's different tones and sounds and colors and all these different things that are associated with them. And they can really balance them out, harmonize them, ground you. So one of my favorite ways to do that is to go through. Actually, if you want to pop onto my website, soulfulvessel.com, there's a free toning guide on there. It's just on the main page. It says start here now for your vocal alchemy journey, I think is what it says. And just click on that, enter your email, and then you will get your free guide.
There you go.
Yeah. How about you? What are your favorites for grounding?
Well, I've done that's great, like taking your socks and shoes off, getting in nature. One of my friends did ayahuasca, and that's the only thing he got from it. Just like the universe, nature told him, just stand on me. That was it. It was really powerful the way he explained it. That's one. I did a grounding camp with Elliot Holst, and we did a lot of Osho dynamic meditation, which is a 5-part shaking vibe, and we felt so grounded. I saw you after the float tank. It was cool.
Yeah.
So there's different modalities, right? Eating a healthy meal, raw meal. That's powerful. Nice naps. Yeah. Journaling, reflecting, getting in nature.
Yeah. For me, movement. I'm assuming you're a mover, right?
Dancing,
you seem like a mover.
Yeah. But that's like, I feel like there's that high expressive, and then people get really scattered and high strung. And then I feel like grounding's the opposite. So grounding, I like to be more like chill activities.
But I think especially for the feminine dynamic, movement. Like movement is such like a big thing. Like in that motion, when you think of like the masculine, there is that stillness, that presence, and we all can, play on the spectrum. It's nothing to do with, women or men. It's just who tends to embody it the most. But that bringing in that element of movement, even if it's slow and grounded and intentional, it's not, it's not like you have to be out there like, wow, it can be like this really like slow bringing of energy.
That's good Tai Chi.
Yeah, and like really like bringing in all these different elements, these different modalities, so there can be the movement and groundedness in that. You think of a tree where it simultaneously has its roots planted and then its leaves and its branches are swaying above. So bringing in that. So finding what works for you. I mean, really that's what it comes down to. There's no one size fits all. There's
what
tons
works
of
for
tools.
you?
Yeah, what works for you?
How do you ground yourself? How do you ground yourself? I want to know. Comment. And this way we can all collaborate.
Yeah.
The grounding is great. Another thing I do is scooping and matching my breath. Yoga, meditation. And the purpose of this is so I show up more effective and my mind's clear. I don't have all these thoughts going off and I'm focused and present, and then nothing's stopping me and nothing stopping me. I feel like unstoppable. So when have you felt like confident and clear and you could crush it? And being grounded, being super high energy, those are the two spectrums that just allow you to create that firework of fantastic fun and results in your life, so you can get stuff done and get more out of life, so you can give more to life. So giving, focusing out's big.
The getting is in the giving. That one we come back to a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's really the point is like having all of these different tools that we can source so that we can show up more fully, so that we can embody who we truly be and show up in the world in a way that ultimately serves others, which then comes back to us.
Yeah, and there's a paradox of people, like I've definitely done it where I overdo it, where I want to do the cryotherapy and I do like all these different things and the spice shots and I checked out this amazing Russian spa, which is like a cold bath, a hot jacuzzi, hot steam, and my concern is, and I've heard this with other people, you can go in like circles and have so much fun and not getting things done and create the goal that you want, that you're striving for, and not make that impact, not create those financial results, not create the deep connection and relationships, the intimacy. So like, how do you have it all? And it's good not to get caught up, but it's good to use it too. So that fine line of using it to fuel you as the vehicle towards what you want. That in itself is not the end destination unless you've had such a powerful experience where you want to make a business about it or promote it in some way. But it's all about using it to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being aware of it and experiencing what works best for you. Like test it all, try it all. Try paleo, try vegan, like try these different diets. There's no one way. There's certain ways that work for each person individually.
And certain ways that work for you at different points in your life. So something that worked last year might not work now. I mean, heck, like something that worked last week might not work now. So it's really, really just tuning in, finding that awareness, that inner alignment, that inner GPS, being willing to listen. Being really willing to listen, asking the questions, inquiry, inquiry is a massive, massive
What do you mean by
piece.
that?
So inquiry in itself has been a part of all the major modalities that I've worked in and loved. So asking questions. So it sounds so simple.
To yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So what questions do we ask ourselves?
Oh my gosh, there's a myriad. One of the best ones, one of my favorite ones is, how does it get any better than this? You know that one? It's a good one. Access Consciousness talks about it a lot. And how does it get any better than this? Oh, by the way, the reason why I'm looking over here is because we have another camera that's, they're like, why is she just talking like right here?
Yeah. So tell us about that. I'm going to pop off here in a little bit.
Sure. So with the inquiry piece, you really tune in and you ask these questions of yourself. And it's to whatever works for you in that moment. So it could be really specific. So for instance, if you're wanting to make $1,000 in a week, it's asking, what would it take to do